Oh, good.
Oh, there it is.
Recording and yeah. Hey. Now, make sure, like, hey, can everybody hear me, see me, that kind of thing? Oh, no, you just end meeting. And then it'll say end meeting for all.
Oh, God.
That's all you do. But, yeah, make sure someone, and then they're going to tell you, we can't hear you, we can't see you, but I haven't had a problem like that in a long time. Like, they should,
okay.
They should be
yeah,
good.
usually I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, Lavina, how are you?
Say it again.
Oh, Lavina's on. Yeah. Hi. Hope all of y'all had a great Monday. All right, so I'm going to give it just one more minute and then I will get started with our virtual training for tonight. Hey, Sasha. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So as you can see, Leah is not here. I am the guest speaker tonight. Leah is currently hosting a beauty experience party. So I'm hanging out here in her room at her desk. And I'm going to be bringing you your training tonight as I talk about how to close out the rest of this month, which I guess is like 3 days left, right? So I'm going to talk to you about that and hopefully, give you a few words of encouragement that'll help you get through the next 3 days and just hit the ground running and finish a great and strong month. So as most of y'all know, I'm Emily. I'm a sales director, of course, and from the Goal Digger unit, and I'm doing the training tonight. And the words that I'm going to be sharing with you are from my new director of education that I went to in Dallas a few weeks ago, and I came back just fired up and just in love with this company even more than when I left Charlotte. So just so you know a little bit of the background of where I'm getting all of my inspiration from tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and share that with you now, and then I'm going to do some announcements at the end. So one thing I heard, and this is actually from Leah Carta, that something that our Leah shared with us, is that, December is coming up. Of course, we're trying to finish out November strong, but you can't help but think about December as well. And it's really important that over the next few days, as you're closing out November, that you go ahead and start preparing and planning for December too. Because we all know all the holidays in December with Christmas and everything else, everyone's going to start being busy. So you don't want to compete with the holiday parties and have people tell you that they can't meet with you. So it's really important that the first 10 days in December that you try and hold your 10 parties in the first 10 days. It's definitely doable, double, triple, quadruple book to make that happen. But it's important that you go ahead and start reaching out to people now before they get those holiday parties and stuff on their books. So let me see. Every day is critical, of course. Be willing, and this is something that Leah also shared, be willing to be inconvenienced. Do you want to be frazzled, or do you want to roll with what's going on? So, you can be frazzled if you don't start planning. But if you start planning now, then you can just roll with what comes in December, and it's all going to work out. So make sure you're planning. And then Nathan Moore shared something with us. He said the difference between the top, so the people who are at the top, and the people who are not, is their goals. That's the only difference. The difference between the people at the top and the people who are not, the only difference is the goals that they set. So I want you to think, we have 3 days left in November. What are your goals for the next 3 days? Are they maybe to, have $600 in sales so that you can achieve your bracelet? Or maybe you're working on getting into DIQ, because this is the last 3 days where you can go into DIQ with 8 active team members. The great 8 is gone after these next 3 days. The window is like this big and it's slowly closing. And you want to make sure that you don't miss out on that, because the company, of course, doesn't do this all the time. And so you want to take advantage of these great programs when they have them. So, maybe you're wanting to earn or, get more team members before the month is over. Or maybe you're working on just getting a sale. Whatever it is, make sure you write it down. And of course, you want to track it, because when you track your numbers, everything we do is a numbers game. So when you track it, it's more likely to happen, or at least you'll get further than you would have if you hadn't tracked it. So I want you to think about what is your goal for the next 3 days, and I want you to write it down. And then I want you to go ahead and think about what is your goal for December. Especially since December is going to be a big month. It's one of our biggest months in sales, or, it has the potential to be if you're working. So I want you to write down your December goal too. And I didn't tell Leah I was going to do this, but I would like for my unit to send me your next 3-day goal and your December goal. And those of you in Leah's unit, I'm sure she would love to know yours too. So if you'll send it to her, and I'll give her a heads up that you'll be sending her those. Next thing is, let's see, we talked about the first 10 days in December. Finishing out the next 3 days, are you taking your basket with you everywhere? Your little goodie basket, your incentive basket. We all call them different things, but do you have a basket that you carry with you everywhere that has little, gifts wrapped in it, whether it might be a satin lip set all wrapped up and pretty and, looking all holiday-ish, or maybe a mascara or some discontinued products that we no longer have that you want to get off your shelf? Like, are you taking that temptation basket around with you everywhere? That can really bring in some sales for you over the next few days as well. Along with, are you carrying around your tower? Your 12 days of Christmas tower, are you taking that with you everywhere so people can ask you questions about, hey, what is that? Are you taking it to your party so that as you close them out, you can kind of like already conveniently have it set up at your closeout place, and you can be like, oh yeah, by the way, here's an idea for a Christmas gift if you don't already have them. And then you can have a conversation during your closeout with your guest. So that's some ways to make sales within the next few days too. And just know that there is no stopping us. Like, you can't stop a determined person. There's nothing gets in their way, because they're determined, they know what they want, and that's what they're focused on. Vicki Piccarelli, when I sat down with her, which was so awesome, I got to have like a one-on-one session with her. She said, you just dive into the water and you keep your head underwater and you keep swimming and you keep going and you don't come up until you're where you want to be. So where is that for you? And when do you get to come up out of the water, in the next 3 days? So just think about that. And also something that Nathan Moore shared with us, he said it was an article he read about Ode to the Shopping Mall. and how it's crumbling. It's a crumbling power of e-commerce, meaning think about all the shopping centers as you drive down the road and all the shopping malls that are closing down and they're going out of business. Well, guess what that means for us? That means there's more women who used to work there and men, more people who need this opportunity, whether it be now they need a new place to buy their products from, or maybe they now need a new job. And it's our job and our greatest time to be able to offer them this opportunity and help change their life. Also, with that, think about who can you interview over the next 3 days if you're looking to move up in a leadership role. You know, maybe you just want one team member and that's great. Or maybe you need 5 more and that's great too. It's totally doable. So just think about, you know, who can you interview that you haven't reached out to? Who can you follow up with again that maybe you haven't spoken to in a while? I know Leah and I are going back through all the people that we've interviewed and just saying, hey, like, you know, I know we've talked before, but can I just borrow like 5 minutes of your time? Totally painless, but just would love some more feedback from you about, you know, this opportunity or about Mary Kay. And they're more than likely going to say yes. I mean, it's 5 minutes of their time. It's no big deal. If you act like it's no big deal, they'll act like it's no big deal. And then you get them on the phone with Leah or myself, and we get to do a little follow-up talk and just kind of see where they're at. So keep that in mind too, because I don't know about y'all, but I've kind of been kicking myself lately with all these people who are popping up with all these businesses. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I didn't know she was looking for something more. And now she's with, you know, blah, blah, blah company, direct selling company. And you know what? Who knows what would have happened if I would have just reached out to her before that other person did. So don't hesitate. And I'm preaching to myself here with this too. Like, this is a lesson I need to learn too, but don't hesitate on who you reach out to. Mary Kay always said if they're 3 feet in front of you, behind you, beside you, if they're within your reach, then you need to reach out to them. And that's something, like I said, that I'm working on too, because now seeing all these people joining all these other things, I'm like, oh, guess I probably should have reached out to her because she clearly was looking for something and I had no idea because I didn't ask her. So don't be afraid to reach out to people is what I'm saying with that. And going back to about how this is an amazing opportunity, which we all know it is, I wanted to share a text with you that I got today from this lady that I met at a party. And she has been interested in joining my team. And I just wanted to share with you what she said, because I just thought this was really powerful. And just shows what great opportunity we have and how much it can really mean to someone else. So here it is. So I was talking to her earlier today and, you know, talking about setting up her first party and all of that. And she said, she texted me and said, I am so excited. I'm so glad I came out to the facial that night. I feel like this is really going to change my life. And we all know it will. And that's what I told her. I was like, you know what? Whether you're in for a minute or a lifetime, it's going to change you. And she is so excited about that. And that makes me so excited. And I get to be a part of that. So again, don't be afraid to share this opportunity because you don't know whose life is going to change because you just shared, you know, a little 5-minute conversation with them. So moving on from that, seize the moment. Just seize the moment. Be in the moment, seize it, run with it, and have fun. Make the best thing about your day be you. Not about someone else or not about, you know, what's going on here, what's going on there, but the best thing about your day should be you. You are in control of your day. You can make it good, you can make it not good, but you're in control. So make the best thing about it be you. And anything is possible if you want it badly enough, which we all know. And so those are a few things from Nathan Moore that I wanted to share with you. And then now I want to share with you a few things from Vicki Piccarelli about how to design your day. Like, what should it look like? So she said, we cannot outgive God. Live life with arms and hands open wide. So just being thankful to God, not for what he gives you, but for him, like, be thankful for him, you know, and of course what he gives you too, but it's more focused on God and what he's doing for you. Mentality is freedom. A successful person is someone who works less but more efficiently. So she talked a lot about, how sometimes we'll say, oh, I just wish we had more time in the day. And she talked a lot about, if you're working more efficiently, then you're not going to feel like that. And here's some ways that you can prioritize so that you feel like you have more time. So she said, think about what is on your plate right now. If you had to make a list of everything that's on your plate, maybe it's volunteering at your church and doing Mary Kay, and maybe you have another full-time job like I do. I know most of us do. Maybe it's being a mom or being a wife. Like, think of all the things on your plate, and of course there's some things on your plate that they have to stay there. Like, you have to be a mom, you have to be a wife, or you have to be, like right now I have to be a teacher, whether I want to or not, I have to. So think about the things on your plate, but think about the other things that are there that maybe you don't necessarily have to be. And think about what is on your plate that God didn't ask you to put there. Maybe I'll share from my personal experience. So I am the current president of my sorority for the Charlotte area. Okay, well, that's cool. But guess what? It's not fulfilling anything for God. It's not fulfilling anything for me. So guess what? I'm trying to knock it off my plate, because that time that I spend there, don't get me wrong, it's a great position and everything, but for me, it's not for me right now. And I finally realized that. So now I'm needing to get it off my plate. And that's going to open up more time for me to do what I really love to do. So make sure your priorities are clear. Think about what's important to you, of course, putting God first. So what is it that will deepen your relationship with Him? The obvious being spending more time with Him. Think about, am I doing anything that's not building my relationship with Him? Kind of like the example I just gave you. And then think, how can I do less but abide more? And I think that's really important to listen to. So how can I do less, be more efficient, but abide more? And take daily time with Him. So don't think about, okay, well, I got all these things to do and I'm just check them off my list. Like, that's not a fun way to live life. Life is not just a checklist. Like, it needs to be meaningful. So what are you doing everything that means a lot to you? Like spending quiet time with God. I don't do that to be like, okay, yep, did that, moving on. Like, it needs to be a time to renew yourself and to re-energize and to really just dive in to listening to what He wants from you. And so, making everything about what it has to do with Him and not with you. Discipline, not desire, designs my destiny. I'm going to repeat that again because I love this quote from Vicki Piccarelli. She said, discipline, not desire, designs my destiny. And I know I personally get kind of sidetracked sometimes by what I desire, what I'm longing for, what I'm working towards. But it's important to know that discipline is more important than that, because if I'm not disciplined, if I'm not preparing and planning, then I can long for that goal all day, but if I'm not disciplined to work towards it, it's not going to matter, right? So be disciplined and design your own destiny. She also talked about how she takes one day a month to disconnect, like really to just go by herself, turn off her phone, social media, all that stuff, and she just disconnects. And maybe you can't do a whole day, but maybe you need to do like 30 minutes a day, or 10 minutes a day, and just really disconnect and listen, to the silence and see what you learn from it. The other thing about prioritizing your day, so your family, what makes your family feel most loved? If you have children or if you have a significant other, ask them, like, how do you feel the most loved? Is it when I cook for you? Or is it when I just sit down and spend time with you? And you might be surprised at what they say. Like, I know Vicki was talking about how, she thought she had to cook dinner to show her family that she loves them. And she found out that they don't care if she cooks dinner or not. What they care about is when she sits down with them and takes time. So guess what? Now cooking doesn't take up her time because she knows that's not what's most important to her family. So I think her husband, cooks now or something. But find out what makes your family feel most loved, what creates peace and harmony for them. what can you delegate? What are you currently doing that you could have someone else do? Maybe an assistant or your significant other or a friend, or I don't know. But what can you delegate to someone else? Do you plan regular date nights? So I know she said her date night is, every Saturday. She cuts out that time for her husband. So are you cutting out that time for your significant other so that they know, okay, Saturdays, maybe like 8:00, that's our date night, and they can always count on that, and that'll help too. And then she said the third thing about prioritizing is your career. So let's see. Are you taking the time, going back to the discipline part? So are you taking the time and doing your weekly plan sheet where okay, from like 5 to 6, I'm making phone calls, and maybe 7 to 8, I'm following up with customers or something like that. So just really getting your weekly plan sheet, planning it out and working your plan. So that way you're not frazzled like we talked about in the beginning, but you're actually just working and when you're going to work, your family knows when you're working, and then they know when you're not. And so just lots to think about there. I hope that was helpful. Also wanted to mention a few other things with December coming up. So first of all, the Applause magazine, hopefully you guys have looked in it. Guess what? My name's in there. How awesome is that? How many of you would love to get your name in there? Nothing is more exciting than opening up and looking and like finding your name or finding someone that you know. I love looking through these to see, oh, yeah, I know her. Oh, she's from our unit. I know her. But more importantly, in the Applause magazine than my name being in there is they gave some really great ideas for the holidays. And I wanted to make sure that you saw this. So again, talking about December coming up, it says 12 days to share and sell. So again, talking about those first few days in December and making the most of them so that you can hang out during Christmas with your family or whatever holiday you may celebrate in December and not have to worry about, oh, I still need to work on my sales, or, oh, I didn't meet my goal yet, I still need to work. So here's some ideas. So your 12 days to share and sell. So we always do the 12 days at Christmas. And so this, remember, you can advertise through email, individually to your customers. You can individually text them. You can post it on your customer Facebook page. Just remember, don't post anything on your personal Facebook page. Everything goes on your customer page. And if you haven't created one yet, I would encourage you to do so. Mary Kay, if you log on to InTouch and go to the social media part of InTouch, it'll walk you through exactly how to set up your customer profile page. Not profile page, but customer Facebook page. Or if you need help, feel free to contact me too. I can help you. But all of this stuff would be posted there. So you can read more about it, of course, but it just talks about how there's 12 different items. There's even a script here that they put for you. We all love those, right? The work's already done for you. You just have to send it out. There's also videos about how to do this in your power class. So there's videos on InTouch, and you can get images of these under the resources in InTouch as well. And you just send it out, one item a day for the first 12 days in December, and it just really helps get the, get ideas for people out there. And then you might be surprised at how much you can have in sales just from doing this. But you do have to get it out early and don't miss a day, because people actually really look forward to this. It's really fun for them. They're like, oh, what's today's thing going to be? So that's in your Applause magazine. Also over here, holiday countdown. Make sure that you've read this. It has your November to-dos, and there's still some things on here that you might want to make sure that you've done, and so make sure you do that. So that is, I think there was one more thing. No, not in there. Okay, so that's in your Applause magazine, your most recent one. And then here's some other ideas too as we head into December and close out November. Of course, again, first 10 parties in the first 10 days. The Great 8 is ending November 30th. So make sure if you have, even thought about becoming a director, that you shoot for getting those 8 team members by in the next 3 days. So the fall retreat challenge is ending. So those of you who went to fall retreat, Kelly put out the challenge that you either make a $600 wholesale order by your sales, or that you share the opportunity with 15 qualified people. So that you can earn your Alice in Wonderland Bedazzled tumbler. Also, Leah and I will be doing share marketing calls this Tuesday and Wednesday at 9 o'clock. Again, that's this Tuesday and Wednesday at 9 o'clock. And we will be giving out a prize for the consultant who has the most on our call. So definitely don't miss out on that. If you need a script, if you can't find them, I know Leah's posted them before, but if you can't find them, let us know, and we will send you the script that you need to send to people to invite them on that call. And I know we'll be posting the number and everything too. But this Tuesday and Wednesday at 9 are the marketing calls. And then STAR ends December 15th. So, I would challenge you to know where you are with that. What level do you want to be? What level are you currently? Maybe you're already a STAR, but you want to move up to the next level. Definitely, find out what level you are or what level you want to be and where you're at so that you can track that. Something that can help you with closing out STAR is adopt a grandparent. So you can reach out to people. Remember, you can't post it on your personal Facebook page, but you can reach out to people individually. Leah and I, you can contact us. And, if you don't know how to do the adopt a grandparent script, but you can ask people to adopt a grandparent. And so basically they would send you money. And then with that money, you would use it to purchase the inventory that you need for the adopt a grandparent, or for the little gift baskets or gift sets that you'll make. And then, of course, you deliver them to a local nursing home and gift them to someone that they have there. So that's adopt a grandparent, and it can help you really with your sales for STAR. But remember, we don't take any profit from it. So everything that you get would go directly towards the items for adopt a grandparent. Don't forget earning the bracelet this month with your $600 order. I know for my group, I posted today on our Goal Digger page how far everyone is from that, or how close they are. So make sure to check that out. And then, don't hesitate to reach out about the beauty experiences. Those are really taken off, and everyone's super excited about them. Think about how many faces do you want to see for the rest of these 3 days? How many do you want to see in December? Go ahead and track that. Wrap and mask is another great idea with the holidays coming up. So what you would do is invite your customers, your friends, whoever it is, invite them over and have them bring everything that they need to wrap, like all the gifts they need to wrap for Christmas. And they get to wrap Christmas gifts, and you can have holiday music and all of that. And while they're wrapping, you get to have them try out the mask. So maybe you want to have them try out the charcoal mask or the facial peel, but they get to do the mask while they're wrapping presents. And then, of course, you would close like you normally do, and that should help your sales too. And then we are challenging all of y'all, including ourselves, to have $1,000 goal for December. Because think about what that means. If you have $1,000 in sales in December, that means you have $500 extra in your pocket. And I want you to write down what you would do with that $500. And you can't say pay a bill, because I know that's normally what I would say, okay? But you can't say pay a bill. Pretend all your bills are paid. What would you do with that $500 for yourself for Christmas, or maybe for your family, or maybe for someone you know? What would you do with that? Like, what fun thing would you do with that, with $500 extra in your pocket? So I want you to write that down. And then, think about where you're going to get those sales from. I know a lot of us just had a lot in sales, thanks to Pink Friday and Pink Monday and Cyber Monday and, all these other crazy business days that we've had. So think about, who could you sell to that you haven't sold to already? Like, there's probably a lot of men that you could reach out to. Maybe the referrals, on our profile cards, it says, who can I contact about gift giving? And they've given you a referral. Reach out to all of those people. I have a script for that if you need it. Reach out to people in your neighborhood. You can talk to people about stocking stuffers. And then a lot of your sales are going to be on the go sales. So that's why you need to take your temptation basket or your 12 days of Christmas tower with you, because you would be surprised. People are in the buying mood, of course. And so you would be surprised at how many sales you might get just while you're on the go doing things that you're already doing, like going to the bank or going to the grocery store or places like that. Because like I said, it can be one of your highest months in sales. It definitely has a potential there. So you don't want to miss out on that. Okay. So I hope y'all were able to grab something from everything that I shared with you, and I hope it was super helpful. If you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out, and I hope y'all have a great week and a great closeout, and I can't wait to see where everyone lands on the end of the month. Bye.